Hello friends, it's Mrs. Jane with all the fantastic news you can use about a fantastic Friday at school. And that would be the 13th of November 2020. After getting our temperature check, we made our way down the stairs into the classroom to hang up our backpacks and our belongings, make sure that our folders reached the take-home box, sanitized our hands, headed to the clothesline to sign in, and then on to the tabletop activities. And so, starting with table 1, looking at our name train again, making sure to get all those letters in the right order before we did a little fine motor practice, moving left to right with our marker, getting that pilgrim fellow over to his pumpkin pie. After that, heading to table number 2, we wanted to answer the question, which is greater? We talked a little bit about the meaning of greater. It means which is more. And so each of the kids was presented with a little math mat. The question at the top, which is greater? And then 2 boxes at the bottom, a pair of dice, and a candy corn. The kids were told to roll the first dice, put it face up in the first box, roll the second dice, put it face up in the second box. They counted the number of dots on the first dice, counted the number of dots on the second dice, and then they decided which was greater, and they pointed the tip of their candy corn towards the die that had the greater number of dots. If you look at those candy corns, parents, it looks just like that little symbol we use for greater than. Of course, you had to have a little bit of a candy corn to take with you when you finished your work there. On table number 3, time to decorate a G. We used our brown markers to color the G first, and then a layer of glue, and then finally some gold glitter to make it gorgeous. After that, of course, we did our question of the week. Because we were absent on Wednesday for Veterans Day. We moved that ahead to today. And so today, again, talking about that glitter, we wanted to know, what is your favorite color of glitter? We gave 3 choices, gold, silver, or multi. We'll give you the results of that question in just a few moments. On table number 4 today, language began our thank you notes to the veterans and active military members of our families. And then over at the Play-Doh table, a little something different. We tried out some kinetic sand for the first time. And of course, we introduced it so everybody knew what they were getting into and how it was very, very important to make sure that the sand stayed on the trays on the table, to make sure that the cups were sealed properly and then put into a plastic baggie after the tops were put onto the cups. And parents, you would be very proud. Good turn taking there, and everyone after their turn willingly exited the table and allowed another friend to try. And just so you know, we'll be continuing that kinetic sand throughout the rest of our talk about color brown in lieu of the orange Play-Doh. Still a great medium to help us with our fine motor skills. A little different texture for us. And we got to look at color brown as well. After all of that, of course, it was time to clean up and then head over to our Rock-A-Motion Choo-Choo and our Hello Circle. Once we got into that Hello Circle, of course, we did the results of our question where we count, we compare, we contrast, and it looks like, parents, most of us like that gold glitter. I believe that had the largest number of votes today. After that, a little more brainstorming of G words, recorded them on our list, and then we moved off to our Hello Circle. Once we were there, of course, time to introduce the persons of the day, remind everybody that they are the best examples, and we'll make sure that if you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, just follow the persons of the day. We also talked a little bit, or did the pledge to the flag, our good morning song, had an attendance report, a weather report, moved over to the calendar, talking about what the day was, how many days we've used thus far in the month of November, how many days to our coming next coming event. After that, little 7th inning stretch, parents, and this time we were acting like turkeys. We used our arms to flap the turkeys, up and down, and did a count of 10. Then we also did a little running from the farmer, a little running in place to get our blood flowing in our legs. After that, it was time for some music and some movement. And so we started out today with our Thanksgiving rhyme. My hands say thank you with a clap, clap, clap. My toe says thank you with a tap, tap, tap. My head says thank you with a shake, shake, shake. My heart says thank you with a kiss to take. Love that one. We also did our song, If You're Thankful and You Know It. We did our Thanksgiving blessing. And as a reminder there, we're going to be trading our traditional snack blessing for the Thanksgiving blessing until Thanksgiving happens to give us a little extra practice for that. We also did our songs, We Are Thankful and On Thanksgiving Day, before we stood for a little turkey trot. After that, of course, time to break up into our individual groups. And so, on the craft side of things, we created a turkey, this time with a little feather painting. Yeah. So, we started out with a white paper plate. We added a brown turkey body with a yellow turkey beak and red wattle, and then we took a feather and dipped that in paint, and in lieu of a paintbrush, used that to paint on the feathers of the turkey. We used orange and yellow and brown to color the feathers. On the literacy side of things, of course, starting off with our ABC song, modeling that G sound, then we moved into a fun sequence called Going to Grandma's House. We talked about how usually at Thanksgiving time, most folks head over to Grandma's house to enjoy that turkey dinner together. And so we took our large plastic cube blocks and disassembled those, laid them flat, and made a path, like a maze, from one side of our carpeted area to the other. And at the far end, we put our little hut, collapsible hut, and that served as Grandma's house. So we started at one end of the room, and we did a variety of took a variety of routes to Grandma's house. We walked, we ran, we crawled, we tiptoed, and each time with a little story about why we were doing it to get to Grandma's house. So for instance, the walking part when we started out, we talked about how when Mommy and Daddy looked out the window on Thanksgiving morning, they thought, what a beautiful day for a walk. Let's walk to Grandma's house. So we walked to Grandma's house. Once we were at Grandma's house, we realized how late it was, and we had spent so much time there. It was time for the children to get in bed, so we had to run home to the opposite side of the room. Then, oh my goodness, when we got home, we realized we forgot Mommy's favorite plate at Grandma's house. So this time, when we looked outside, there was fog, so everyone had to crawl under the fog to get back to Grandma's house. Then, of course, once at Grandma's house, time to turn around to go back. And let's pretend we're in the Thanksgiving Day parade. So we marched back home. Once we got home, then we realized we forgot to kiss Grandma and Grandpa before we left Grandma's house. Had to run back to Grandma's house. Oh, no, that was the one we tiptoed, yes, because we didn't want to wake Grandpa. So a variety of ways to move along that path. The first group of kids that tried that out had the job of disassembling the blocks and laying them flat and making the path. The second group that did this worked cooperatively, and this time they broke up the path and reassembled the blocks for us. So a lot of good teamwork there, along with all the G sound and the moving. After, of course, all of that was finished, it was time for a break. So we headed to the necessary room, then a little free read in the library, followed by our nutritious and delicious snacks. Once those were cleaned up, time for some center time. And today it was all about ways to go. And so, starting out with Friday is slide day, you could go down the slide. You could also use some of our vehicles, the bikes, the Peloton, the scooters, the scooter boards, the bouncy balls to go. We took out the train set for that to go. You get the picture. And then, of course, once our center time was finished and all of our toys were put away, time to head over for a little story. And today, parents, we started our brand new rotation of our latest and greatest Fantastic Fours book. And this one, of course, is Hooray, Hooray for Fancy Feet Friday. And so we read the book and told all about each of the Fantastic Four's fancy feet, how tall they are in fancy feet, the measurement of their fancy feet, what their fancy feet like to do. So stay tuned because that book will be coming to your house pretty soon. We just started the rotation today. All kids, back in the can, all kids get their turn starting today. After that, of course, time for our goodbye circle. A little bit of show and tell, a little preview of what's coming up for us in the next week, goodbye song, a little treat, backpacks and garments again, and up the stairs and out the door to start our weekend with you. Some public service announcements for you parents. Let's see. Starting with our color, it will remain brown for next week. Our letter becomes H. And so, of course, you can have fun brainstorming plenty of H words, we're sure. Along with that, just so that you know, Happy Hat Day will conclude our work with letter H. That will happen next Friday. You'll be getting a memo about that on the coming Monday. But we're scheduling it for next Friday, which would be November the 20th. And if you could do Fancy Feet Day, you can do Happy Hat Day because we just want you to wear the hat that makes you happiest. Could be a baseball cap, could be a cowboy or a cowgirl cap, could be a construction cap, could be an Easter bonnet, could be a wool cap, could be your Buffalo Bills cap, whatever makes you happiest. And then, of course, all of our activities will revolve around our hats that day. We also want you to know that on Tuesday, that would be November the 17th at 7 p.m., mandatory parent meeting in our classroom, parents. See you there. Also, our Kids with Coins project is back, and there'll be a note about that in the backpacks today. And that is an opportunity for the kids to help their neighbors in need. We work along with the good folks of St. Martin's for this project. The folks from St. Martin's will buy turkeys for families in our area. And so what we do is to give coins to St. Martin's to help them buy those turkeys for our friends in need. We hope you'll participate. We ask you to keep the names of veterans and any active military from your family coming so we can write some thank you notes and include the names on our display. And I think that just about does it for today. We hope everybody has a glorious weekend. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out. We're here, we'll help. And as always, every day is a good day to have a good day at Jack and Jill. So long for now.